Ministerio de Turismo y Deporte, afuera. Ministerio de Cultura, afuera. Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera. Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad, afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas, afuera.
Everything's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay. Shut this entire city down! Not on our watch. Because what they will try to do, they will try to separate us. They will kick the trans people off the bus. They're kicking the indigenous people off the bus. They're kicking our intersex community off the bus. Our two-sphere plus family, they're kicking them off the bus. They just want a membership LGBT bus. Well, guess what, babe? That LGBT bus, it's not going to have any gas. It won't have any tires. Y'all not going any far. Because we are a community that is made and has been woven with the fire and the spirit of revolution. Revolution! Revolution! So the people that are not here with us, we will take note. It's not that cold.
You know, I don't know why they're so mad about this gender surgery for kids. I've never actually got an answer for this, but I'm going to bring it back. If genitals don't define your gender, how does removing them affirm it? Okay, please, I'm waiting for an answer. Somebody let me know.
Trump is making Saudi Arabia invest $600 billion into America. No. Countries used to always make us give them money, and now he's making countries invest in America. Our tax money always went to Ukraine, Africa, and other countries, and we used to get mad, but now he's making countries give us money. Now they all want to invest in America. He's trying to make America great again. What are we gonna do? America keeps getting better by the day. Why is Trump doing this? We gotta stop him so we can be complaining about government again, giving away all our money. He also went to North Carolina and looked at all the damage when it took Biden forever to go. No! He says he wants to overhaul FEMA and make FEMA work for the people again. No! He's doing more in a week than Biden did in 4 years. Oh, no. I gotta get off here.
It is really, really a sad day in America. We are witnessing a constitutional crisis. We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like. When you gut the Constitution and you install yourself as the sole power, that is how dictators are made. What Trump and Elon and all of their cronies are trying to do is take away the constitutional power of Congress. I am exceptionally upset about USAID. I lived in a refugee camp for 4 years as a child surviving civil war. It is the essential programs that USAID provided that kept my family and I fed and safe. It is the resources that so many people around the world rely on. Through programs that provide essential need, they get to see the heart and compassion of the American people. When someone is struggling because their bridge broke down, when USAID comes in and helps fix that bridge, that creates goodwill for the American people.
So she's pretty upset because US aid has been stopped by Trump, and I mean, this is an example of how much money they were sending to some of the countries. Somalia got 1.2 billion. Now this is funded by Congress, which is obviously funded by the US taxpayers. Here's some other examples of where your taxpayers' money was going. 2 million for Moroccan pottery classes. 2 million promoting tourism in Lebanon. 20 million for a Sesame Street show in Iraq. Now, she's upset because people apparently rely on this from other parts of the world, places like Somalia, where she's from. But she doesn't care about the actual US citizens. I mean, there's a lot of homeless veterans who get nothing. So obviously she cares more about people from other countries. Well, instead of blaming America when the American taxpayers don't want to pay for this stuff anymore, why don't you look at your own government of the country you came from, which is extremely corrupt? And by the way, that 1.2 billion that they received, you best believe that a lot of that didn't actually go to helping anyone. It probably went to the corrupt politicians of these countries, who this lady right here will never criticize, even though they're doing nothing for their people, and she won't dare criticize that. And then she comes to America, the country that saved her and gave her everything, and hates it. It doesn't make any sense.
When people are fleeing and they need just a little bit of food, and USAID is there to provide that, that creates goodwill for the American people. Privileged billionaires who don't give a damn about America and Americans should not be making decisions that put Americans at harm.
So she's got a problem with billionaires now, but she never had a problem before when they was funding the Democrat Party and pushing agendas like open borders, which has actually put a lot of American citizens in direct harm. But we all know this woman doesn't care about Americans. Check this out. It says Ilhan Omar is conducting seminars for Somalians who are living illegally in the US without documentation. What is this? How is this protecting the American people? You're doing the opposite.
xildhibaanad Ilhan Umar oo dhawaan la hadashay saxaafadda ayaa talo bixin siisay dadka sharciga aan haysan ee ku nool dalkan.
waxaan ula talinayaa dadka Soomaalida ah haddii ay maxaa la dhahaa ii sheeg ice ay isku dayaan inay ku su'aalaan muku qasban tihid inaad su'aalahooda aad ka jawaabtid waxaad dhihi kartaa lawyer
Let me get this straight. You're protesting in America to be here illegally, and you're waving the flag that you're from, but you refuse to go back to the country that you're from. And not only that, you're taking the American flag, throwing it on the ground and stepping on it. Then why are you here?
Stated. This is not only about a private company that gets sued and has to pay out. Vaccine manufacturers often operate on very slim profit margins. If they get sued repeatedly and successfully, they simply move out of the vaccine space. We've already seen this happen with vaccines in the past. 20 years ago, we watched vaccines just move away if they did not have protection from these kinds of lawsuits. The consequence of Mr. Kennedy's ability to make those lawsuits easier is also the ability to shut down access and manufacturing for vaccines for every one of us. And I think that's
It's kind of funny how USA is funding free clinics, but Americans are actually struggling to get affordable healthcare. Can somebody please explain that to me? And if you want to talk about slim profit margins, okay, as she claims, let's have a look, shall we? Moderna 2021 revenue 11.2 billion, net profit margin 70%. Biotech, similar numbers, net profit margin 77%. Now, to me, that doesn't seem like a slim profit margin, but I don't know, maybe she's just comparing it to her insider trading returns, which in that case, in comparison, yeah, it would be quite slim.
So I found this big trash pile, all trash, things that Afghanis don't need. Loads of chairs, other crap, more chairs, some rugs they don't want. What else don't they want in Afghanistan? Gender sensitivity training. USAID Afghans Value Chains Livestock Gender and Youth Team. Oh no. Women's agriculture. Don't need that anymore. That's for trash heap. More gender sensitivity training. Don't need that.
You're watching live coverage.
Through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government. Thank you, guys.
Viewers and the public audience, but it was important to the folks in the media to understand why, say, Hennepin County, which is our biggest county in Minnesota, that's
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. Which, you know, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart. And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also just least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of. But the point is that what that means is that they're going to hit a button. Inevitably, they are going to hit a button and things can go sideways.
It's kind of ironic that this is coming from AOC. Now, I actually agree with what Andrew Tate had to say about this. He said, "Oh my God, I can't believe they let a billionaire who puts rockets into space work for the government instead of a bald tranny who steals luggage from it." Now, he's obviously referring to the former senior Department of Energy official, Sam Brinton, who was travelling on the taxpayers' money during a luggage theft last year, according to internal documents from the Biden admin. Now, let's move on to the whole Canadian-Mexican stuff. As you all know, Trump put tariffs on Mexico and Canada and China. As far as I'm aware, China hasn't reacted yet, and they probably won't because they're not stupid, and they're still going to make huge profits off America. So they're probably smart to do nothing. Mexico and Canada, on the other hand, thought it would be a good idea to try and retaliate, which I don't know why they done that, and obviously they both caved within 24 hours. You even had people like this removing American products from Canadian shelves.
Sorry, I came into my nose. Oh, the American top.
That doesn't make any sense because the products you're removing have already been imported, so I don't really see the point in that, but whatever. Now, the reason I say it's pretty dumb for Canada and Mexico, Canada specifically, to even bother trying to compete with America. Canada's GDP is only 2.1 trillion. Okay, the state of Texas alone has a larger GDP of 2.6 trillion. Shout out all my Texans, yeah? But it can't even compete with Texas, let alone the whole of the United States. Anyway, as expected, less than 24 hours later, he said he had a meeting with Trump and it all went well, and now he's enforcing the border, basically meeting all Trump's demands, which he should have been doing anyway. Like, why did it come to this, to start doing this? It should have been done a long time ago. And then N-Wokeness responded by saying, "Ha Trump owns you. Oh, and before somebody tries saying America needs Canada for their oil, it's actually worth noting that one of the biggest pipelines that brings the oil from the west side of Canada to the east side of Canada has to go through America. They did have their own one that they was trying to build, but they stopped building it for, I don't know, maybe it cost too much money. So the only way that Canada can actually get their oil from the east to the west is by going through America.
Y'all, I really cannot fucking believe everything that is happening in our country right now. And the fact that I am surrounded by MAGA, including my in-laws. And I'm like, what? And you want to pretend that you didn't vote for him and that I am gay and that what's happening isn't just affecting me but millions of others, and you just want to sweep that shit under the rug and pretend it's okay and sit in your church pews and claim you're a Christian and you're the farthest thing from Jesus on this fucking planet? No thanks. You can fuck all the way off.
Donald Trump's government just did something terrible that's going to instantly negatively affect the lives of millions of South Africans, and I'm just feeling incredibly upset. So no fancy edits, I'm just going to talk about it. So USAID is an American program that funds developmental projects in many parts of the world, and in particular USAID has funded many very significant and important healthcare projects in South Africa, like funding and subsidizing the rollout of antiretrovirals and other crucial life-saving chronic medication.
Your sign says stop abuse of power.
Yes.
In what regard?
Well, with everything that's happening in our politics, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Like with Trump?
Yes, it seems that money goes a long way right now with our politicians, and that needs to stop.
So would you say it was an abuse of power how they just removed Joe Biden out the Democratic primary and installed Kamala Harris?
You know, I don't know that I can comment on it.
But honestly, isn't that pretty anti-democratic and a big abuse of power, especially by the mainstream media, because they pretended for so long that Kamala was not going to be the president and that Biden was competent, and then it turned out that the debate happened and it was proven that Biden was incompetent.
And it's frustrating to see within your own party when there's divisiveness. So,
it is, right?
You know, we're trying
and
to
Nancy Pelosi came in. Yeah. So shouldn't you be protesting against your own party's abuse of power? Maybe that's why you guys lost.
If I snap my fingers, you'll forget that you were ever gay.
I was never gay.
Exactly.
Wait, no, stop.
Yes.
No, stop. You can't. I was never gay.
Okay.
No, I was never gay.
Sure.
You can't just state something and snap your fingers and then be like, I was never gay.
If you say so.
Respira.
Wow, doctor. Qué lindo me quedó la carita. Puedo respirar mejor. Gracias,
Anyway, I'll leave it there, so I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.